Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, there's just 348 days until Christmas 2022. Oh, and today we're going to talk a lot about the Book of Boba Fett. And yesterday I wasn't able to live stream our normal Monday live stream with Jason Ward. I was at a doctor's appointment. I had injured my knee over the weekend and have an injured meniscus in my left knee. No fun. It's a lot of pain. And let me bring Jason in because I've got. Hey, Jason, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for making yourself available today.
Yeah, no problems, Darth Meniscus.
So I've got a funny story to tell about it too. So I injured my knee Friday evening, and I couldn't walk, couldn't move around. Saturday, we're supposed to take some furniture to my daughter that we were getting rid of because we're having remodel done here at the house. And you guys will hear the hammering and the sawing and all that. But so we were moving some furniture at my daughter's house, and I've got a hand cart, like a dolly, and I'm limping around on my right leg. My left leg, I can't hardly put any weight on it. And I leaned that dolly back, and it crushed my right big toe. Now, my right big toe is all black, like, when you crush a nail really good. And so I'm hopping on my left knee because I can't put any weight on it, and my right toe is crushed. Good times. Good times. Trying to move furniture. It was not good. So went and saw the doctor yesterday. They did an x-ray. And as I was telling you before the stream went live, I've had arthritis in my knee since I was in the U.S. Army. I injured myself in a tank track, in a tread from a tank. I twisted my knee in that tank tread. So sounds really cool when you say it that way. And I told you the rest of the story. We'll see if people are paying attention, if they really need to know the rest of the story. It's a need to know situation.
Yeah, and just if anybody thinks that there was any kind of elf revolt or anything like that, that totally didn't happen. Santa did not have to fight off like 15 elves at one time. That's not what happened. So don't think that's what happened, because that totally didn't happen.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Hey, we've got a lot of friends, Mark Hamilton, and I see we've got Star Wars Meg, and we've got Darth Elvis. Mike Porter is in the house, so you guys, you have to stay through the end to see the Mike Porter dad joke of the day. It's another Star Wars related one, so that's fun. So, and Ash Hammer, I know him. Oh, good to see you, my friend. Yes, your friendly neighborhood green is Air Force guy. So fantastic. And Mark put the link in for the episode 3 predictions. Jason, I'd like to talk to you about some of those today as well. And I've got a fun way to do that because I created the poll. So we'll get there in a little bit. Ronnie, hello, Ronnie. Ronnie Jimenez. I didn't say your name, but I see you there. And Nikki is here. We've got Nikki and Meg both in the live stream, so in the chat. So I have to watch which comments I highlight. That's it. I'll click on one really early, so that Nikki can't say I never click on her comments. After this point, it's probably not safe, so I gotta watch. And I saw Abby's here. Good to see you as well. So the topic of the day is who is Sophie Thatcher going to be in the Book of Boba Fett? And there's all kinds of speculation out there. Some of them I want to dispel really quickly. But before we do that,
she's Mara Jade.
Mara Jade, confirmed. You heard it here, Jason Ward.
Has to be.
Oh, who do you? Before we get into each of the ones, who do you think her character is going to be?
I just think she's a new character. I'm agreeing with Meg. I think she's a new character. I think that the Illuminati had it right. What did they say her name was? It was like Drash. Yeah. I don't even think that's a code name. I think that's her name.
I'm taking the cue from you and Meg as well. That's who I think she is. I think she is Drash. I think she's a new character. I think that's her name, and we will find out about her in the show. And so I want to kind of go through some of the most popular picks and kind of work our way through them. So let me bring this up, and we'll start with Dr. Aphra. So I saw this. Darth Lunga, who has his own YouTube channel, he's the Grey Council. Darth Lunga went into great detail about being Dr. Aphra. And I was like, no, Dr. Aphra doesn't have a mechanical arm. And he said, well, I mean, she could have lost it between the comics and this show. That's true. But there's another problem with Dr. Aphra in that her right arm is all tattooed.
Yeah.
Right. And,
well, I mean, and we can't deny the world that we live in. If you introduce an Asian woman hero into Star Wars in the comic books and she's huge, and then you make her a white lady, that's going to not go over well. That's not going to work.
You mean in the woke Hollywood, they wouldn't gender swap or race swap somebody from Asian to white? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't see that happening. I mean,
I don't either.
And I agree with it. I agree. I mean, it's not like there's not enough diversity on certain aspects of characters in Star Wars. So you're not going to go erase that and put it back to what many used to consider the default. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. I don't think this is Dr. Aphra. There's lots of reasons for it, but a couple being that Aphra has both arms the last time we've seen her. Secondly, she's got tattoos all the way down. You see this arm here. Third, this is Dr. Aphra has been generally drawn as Asian, and or at least partially, right? Meg, I am the woke. Yes.
Also, I mean, you can't overlook, she doesn't have a stupid hat. If she doesn't have a stupid hat, she can't be Dr. Aphra, because Dr. Aphra always has a stupid hat.
Well, she does a lot, and I'll give you, maybe she doesn't have the hat on. The other reason people are picking Dr. Aphra, there's two reasons. One, Rebel Force Radio has said that they've heard Dr. Aphra coming to Disney Plus in her own series. And I think that that's a strong possibility. I'm not going to go with a leak or anything like that. I don't have an insider that tell me, oh yeah, we've already cast or anything like that.
Jeremy Conrad, who rocked all of the Marvel stuff, had that from a Marvel source like a year ago that was something. And he doesn't make that kind of stuff up. But it's been so long with nothing going on. I don't know if that's, I wouldn't start the timer on it right now, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong though.
Well, I would love to see, for all the reasons, I'm pretty sure that we will get Dr. Aphra in a Disney Plus series, whether it's animated, live action, or whatever. She has all the attributes that they would want to have. So, you've got a strong female lead. You've got to tie into Darth Vader. And you've got to tie into that whole original trilogy and into the post-original trilogy era. Right. You got to tie into this dude, right? This dude here, Black Chrysanthemum, and we've seen him in live action. So I think everything lines up for her to show up in live action sooner or later. I just don't think that this lady is her.
No, that's like a Pat Benatar cover band lady, and doesn't. I mean, they're both ladies. There's that they both have that going for them in common. Right. But they couldn't be They couldn't even be sisters, in my opinion.
Right. Right. I agree with
Unlikely.
you. I'm all for this is the Pat Benatar cover band in Star Wars, and
Right.
she's riding up to join Max
Max Rebo.
Max Rebo in a concert.
Her bike is the same color as Max Rebo. You can't deny that, fans.
so I am saying, yeah, this is not Dr. Aphra. So let's move on to the next one. I think we can dispel quickly is this being Ailyn Vell. I've not read anything with Ailyn Vell in it. I didn't know her.
Are you serious? No, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea who that is, except for people keep saying it to me, and I just say, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. You sound crazy to me. Taco Bell? I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, I think this is Boba Fett's daughter.
Oh, okay.
So she shows up. Now, I have a friend of mine, Gray, who may show up in the chat. Gray is a good friend who could totally cosplay Arden Vell or Ailyn Vell. Totally. Like this. And Gray, if you're out there listening, this is your cosplay right here. this is Gray for sure. But
I could do the face paint with the Sharpie if she needs it. Just hit me up.
Okay. Very good. Ailyn Vell, I don't think it is her. And we had somebody in one of my video in the comments say that they think this is who it's going to be. I don't think so. And I can only say that just based off of my gut saying it's too big of a deep take. The second is from where? We're getting the backstory of Boba Fett now through his flashbacks. He's with the Sand people. I don't see him going this direction in the current. And if you notice, this is a Legends character. There's no, and for anybody that's not really familiar with Wikipedia, they have two tabs. They have a Legends and a Canon. And normally you can get on and you can find both tabs. This only has Legends, and I just don't think she exists.
Yeah, and it also, I mean, just based off of the narrative structure that we've seen so far, we haven't really had any hints that we're going to get anything from before Return of the Jedi necessarily. In that way, like a one that isn't played by Tamara Morrison.
Yeah,
and it's a weird timeline because she's like obviously about 20 years old. I'm going to say between 20 and 25 years old. And that puts Boba into his mid-20s when he has the kid, according to his age, which would probably be a Daniel Logan Boba Fett, who would be the father. So it would be weird all of a sudden his daughter just shows up and, Dad, you owe child support. Now that you're the Damio or whatever it's called.
Right.
I'm here to collect, that it's, yeah. I'm not buying it. Seems so unlikely to me.
Yeah, and Meg could play Dr. Aphra. Meg has all the right attributes to play Dr. Aphra. She's a strong female lead, and she's got the right kind of a genetic background to place her within that. So if Dr. Aphra has a nice British accent, they totally need to cast Meg.
Star Wars Meg has stolen the fandom's heart. Just like Dr. Aphra.
Right? Exactly. That's exactly right. So Ailyn Vell, I say no, and that's just my gut telling me that. And what you mentioned about timelines and narrative structure.
And wouldn't it be cooler if Boba? I mean, if he had an offspring, if he did it Django style, if he had a clone.
Oh, well,
and then his sister proves that he could have a daughter if he wanted to go that route, that he could do a clone of himself that would be just like Omega.
It's neat that you bring up Omega, because I think we are very likely to see Omega in live action way before we ever see Ailyn Vell.
Yeah.
I don't even know we're going to get that. Daryl, thank you so much. The knee is beginning to heal, and hopefully it does that without having to need surgery. So, Ailyn Vel, I'm just going to dismiss it. It's my own opinion. I don't have facts to break it up. I don't have anything that says it's nonsense. It's just my own gut telling me no.
Yeah.
Now, the strongest argument, and the one that's been going around, and the one that annoys Meg the most, is Arden Lynn. And Arden Lynn has been making her way through the rumors, and there's a couple of reasons for it. One is Arden does have a mechanical arm, and if you go through that now, Arden Lynn, you have to go watch Star Wars Theory. He's got videos about her. You could go to this Wikipedia. You can read about her. She's got a different kind of story, and all of it is legends again. We don't have any, so there's possibility they could adapt Arden Lynn into canon with a bit of change. And I think one of the strongest arguments for her.
Really quickly, sorry. What is like Arden Lynn's deal? I don't know anything about her either. Fake fan here.
Well, she was a kind of a dark Jedi back when Dark Jedi was a thing.
Okay.
She was put in stasis for like 25,000 years. Mm-hmm. And when she came, right here. So 25,000
aged like
years.
fine wine. Yeah.
And then she came in a great Jedi purge. She was reawakened, and her bones and reformed, and she became. She got involved again, and then she was killed again.
Okay.
So she ends up getting killed. One of the strongest arguments is this picture here, I think. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can open this picture and blow it up, because we do see her and her right arm is I think it is her right arm is mechanical, which again she has a mechanical arm. She's got this dude that she goes around with.
Yeah.
And if we look,
this is just Larry hangs out with her. He seems cool.
No, it's not. It's Zindor.
Oh, Zindor. Of course it's Zindor. Who else would it be?
Like
Arden and Zindor? They're gonna go like mustard and ketchup. You know?
Everybody knows Zindor. Again, fake fans. No, Zindor. And so when you look at that and you go back to this picture, and she's got this guy that's also on a swoop bike running around. Then you've got a dark force user with a mechanical arm, and who's got a dude that she runs with.
But they have motorcycles. They don't have. He has like a sword, and he has like a laser tag thing from the laser tag commercial back in the 80s. And
right.
I don't know.
I
mean that would be like saying that's Rey and Finn right now.
Right. I think it's a stretch, and there's such a thing as saying, well, we're going to kind of give a nod to Legends by creating two new characters that are in the same sort of fashion as these two old characters. But I'm not even convinced that these two are Force users.
Yeah, we have nothing to go on with that at all. I mean, they have motorcycles. That doesn't...
And they're not like chasing with a lit saber, like I'm gonna, knock your the power out of the vehicle you're running on. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this really quickly: is Disney going to get thirsty for lightsabers at any minute now in this show and be like, we got to shoehorn that in, or we can, because it's Star Wars, it has lightsabers in it. Like are we just on a countdown for lightsabers here? Is I guess the other question I have.
That's a really good question, and it's one where a lot of fans, there's a couple of things I want to bring up with that. So fans love making these connections. Every time you see a new character, they're like, "Oh, Plagueis." I'm like, why? Why every time we get a new show, any new show announced, they're like, "Oh, maybe Darth Plagueis will be in it." Oh, we lost Jason for a minute. He'll be back. Here he comes. Hold on. Yeah, you're back.
All right.
You just disappeared.
Yeah, Melon just does what it wants sometimes.
Yeah. So any time we get a new series announced, doesn't matter when it is, it'll be, "Oh, maybe Darth Plagueis will be the big bad." I'm like, I don't get your fascination with Darth Plagueis. I get that he's a dude. He was Palpatine's, master. Whatever. But I just.
They need to like either make a really rad Plagueis series so we can just stop already, or like make like a really dumb thing with like Gilbert Gottfried playing him, and people are just like, "Oh, he's terrible. We don't want that in Star Wars anymore." And people just leave him alone.
Right. And so there was all that deal with the sequels that Snoke was Plagueis. I'm like, I don't see why you guys think that Plagueis should be it. And then once they killed Plagueis, once they killed Snoke, they were like, "Oh, Plagueis is really the big bad behind the scenes." You're like, okay, you just won't leave it alone. They won't leave it alone. So,
I was at Comic-Con when they asked Lawrence Kasdan, somebody in the audience, is like, "Is Darth Plagueis in the movie?" And he's like, "Darth Vegas? What?" And people thought on the internet, really, no, he was totally joking. He was not joking at all. He had no idea what they were talking about. He was like, "What?"
Exactly. And so, I mean, that some people are that deep into the lore is great. And that they want to see that acted out is great. But it's just not Darth Vegas. That's where Darth Elvis headlines.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's just so. I mean, Star Wars fans are always grasping on to any clue and making connections, which is great fun. Great fun.
Sure.
But I love to speculate responsibly. I'm not into wild speculation or just what I like to say irresponsible speculation. I'm not into doing wild speculation for the fun of it. That's not me. I enjoy more like responsible speculation, like what could actually happen versus some wild off the wall kind of thing. I don't think that this has to be Arden Lynn just because. I just don't. And I don't think we have to have Force users in every show. I don't think we have to have lightsabers in every show. And like you said,
I'm Darth Maul. Remember?
Right. It's Mark just making stuff up. That's it. People just make stuff up. And then there's a good friend of mine. Well, I don't know. We used to be friends anyway. Who loves wild speculation, and they love to stir the pot just for the fun of it. And it's happened many times where that speculation comes out completely wrong, and then there's a little butt hurt over it not happening.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, well, why did you do that in the first place? Like, why set your expectation for something so wild that it's highly improbable, and then when it doesn't happen, you get all in a twist.
Yeah. You can't. It's cool to have like pet theories that are fun and to like go like, I really want that to happen, but you can't, And then if you feel like they are hinting at it and leading you on, and it was a red herring, I think you could get mad at that. Yeah. But if that's not the case and it's just all you got to kind of just be like, well, that was fun.
Yeah, and look, I don't mind saying, oh look, these two are sort of like these two. That's neat.
Yeah.
But if you start saying these two are these two, well,
Like what
Slow your roll.
to be a bit real about things too is that it like there's plenty of people that just like Legends and that's their jam, totally cool. There's other people
Yeah.
who like both, totally cool. But there is a portion of the fandom who likes to be the victim and like, oh, you erased my actual Star Wars. And so when they do this, then it allows those people to get invested so that they can be re-victimized in their own mind in terms of the internet stuff. Oh, Lucasfilm did it to me again, and it's so tiring.
Exactly.
But yeah,
So
that's why I'm not happy when they throw on EU characters that are like have not even been mentioned or in the realm of possible. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Let me raise one that is making its way through the rounds right now. It was on Nerd Theory last night, and then Josh Lucas is talking about it on his show this morning with is Black Chrysanthemum is Black Chrysanthemum is right. Black Chrysanthemum is he is he going to fight Boba Fett? Or are they going to have an all-out battle, a duel to the death, some sort of conflict between Black Chrysanthemum and Boba Fett? Are they going to fight against one another, or what do you think?
Well, we have a leak that I'm about 40% on right now, being like the 40% leak kind of seemed to hint at it, or actually says that it happens. But when I was screenshotting the episode for my show, and I'm like doing each one as I'm going through, there's like 15 or 16 like moments of him going, and then like it was like a stare down. It was like the director is promising it. That's one of the ones where I'm like, if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna actually be pretty annoyed because they sit there and have them like literally have like almost like a standoff, and they have those moments in the eye contact. It would be very strange if that doesn't happen.
Fair enough. I don't think they are.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are. They recognize one another. Black Chrysanthemum and Boba Fett have worked together before. He is a bounty hunter. And he was a favorite bounty hunter of Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt used to hire him regularly. And so he's had run-ins with different people from time to time. But do you know who else Jabba the Hutt hired as a bounty hunter?
Dengar. No.
To bring back his favorite wall ornament, right? Mm-hmm. Like Boba Fett brought back Han Solo in carbonite to Jabba the Hutt. It was his favorite. So Jabba the Hutt hired Boba Fett. Jabba the Hutt hired Black Chrysanthemum. They both worked together before. Right now, Black Chrysanthemum's hired by the twins, and he's their muscle. But there's no indication that they need to have a fight. I think just my perception is that there's this dinner scene where Boba Fett says, "Hey, we can all make a lot of money if we just work together."
Yeah.
Right. He is going to need his own muscle sooner or later, and that's one thing I think that's been missing so far. Boba Fett has Fennec as his muscle, but who else? He's got the two,
Yeah, he has two Gamorrean guards. I mean, one is Frank Trigg. That's not a bad one, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, see, here's my thing. Is the twins didn't just come into town, flex, and then are taken off and never coming back.
Right.
So in my opinion, for that to happen, the only thing that you could have happen is that Boba Fett pays off Black Chrysanthemum, and then he kills the twins and then goes with him. So I the way I see it, but to the Wookiee, money's going to be money, I think. And the fact that he was staring him down, it didn't seem like, "Hey, Boba, how you been, bud?" It seemed like he was like, "Oh, I'll kill you because I'm about what I'm about." And so there has to be some kind of resolution with the twins. And I think they may send the Wookiee to him, and then they will fight. and then they would either have to have a truce or one of them has to like die. And I don't think either of them will die. I don't think they're going to want to invest in the design of that character and building that character up and all of the comic books and then getting him to live action just to like murder him in 2 episodes. So I am of the opinion that he will survive, but there has to be more. And the people at the dinner table, they're like Baratas or Nicktoons or whatever. They don't. I don't know what they have to do with the twins. So I'm not sure if I see that as a connection to resolution with the twins. Is my point.
Right. And the twins did say sleep lightly.
Yeah.
So there is something coming there.
Wookie Wookie.
Which in RF Gaming Channel says that's exactly why they will fight, because BK, right, Black Chrysanthemum, or as Meg and you have both put Black Santa, right, is that they'll have to, because he's going to be hired by the twins to go take care of Boba Fett. It's not personal; it's a job, right?
Yeah.
So I could see that. I could see that coming. But we shall see. This is just called regular speculation, my friends. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. There's
based off of what's on screen. I think that's fair.
Right. And I love Meg. I was promised twins. Hudson.
So do you think he comes back at all then?
Black Chrysanthemum?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm quite confident. But to me, Boba Fett is building a coalition. He needs more muscle, right? He needs more than the 2 Gamorreans. And somebody put in here, where was it? I gotta go back. Oh, here it is. Keaton Haas. Finney's going to punch a Gamorrean. We know that's happening, right? we haven't seen it yet, so we need that to happen. So I do think that we are going to see Black Chrysanthemum come back, but I think it'll be as a after the dinner scene where he says, "Hey, we need to work together," and he starts building a coalition. I could be wrong. I absolutely accept I could be wrong, but I'm putting my money on it now that he's not going to fight Black Chrysanthemum, that he's going to end up teaming up with Black Chrysanthemum. We are going to see Black Chrysanthemum fight, just not fight Boba Fett.
Not fight Boba. I keep wondering if by some chance that Gamorrean guard Superman punch is cut.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Because they were captured and brought in, and the way that they were, it seems like that's when that could have happened. I am curious. I'm going to be a little annoyed if it was cut and it was like kind of a ruse in a way. Not a ruse, but just filler footage. After Rogue One, I'm always a bit suspicious of them.
Well, that's fascinating that you say that, because we've seen that happen in movies before. Mm-hmm. And there's been a couple of movies where the trailer footage, none of it ends up in the movie. You're like, wait, this is not what was advertised.
I was at Star Wars Celebration in the hotel, and they're like, hey, get Rogue One on pay-per-view. It's what it kept saying on the television. And all it pretty much showed like 2 minutes of cut scenes. And the movie was already out in theaters by then. And it was like, they knew they were selling it with the cut scenes. I was like, how is this? This is like a pay-per-view class action lawsuit waiting to happen.
That's hilarious. And Meg here spilling a little tea. The table scene that we've been talking about, where he said, we need to work together. We can all make a lot of money here. Yeah. She's saying that's chapter 4. It's directed by Tanchiran. I've heard that Meg's been on this story. I don't know what the source of it is. So, yeah. RF Gaming Channel.
Meg says, and I believe her.
Can I change my predictions? RF Gaming Channel, what happens is if you put in multiple predictions, I take the last one you put in. So if you've got 2 or 3, any subsequent prediction cancels out the one before. So yes, you can go back in and update that if you like. So let's see. I want to go through just to kind of close out the Sophie Thatcher story. Dr. Aphra, no. Ailyn Vel, Boba's daughter, no, I'm not buying it. Arden Lynn, no, not buying it. Drash, that's where my money is. I think
where my money is too.
And I am totally being influenced by my friends here. Jason and Meg, it's your guys' fault if I'm wrong. I'm just saying it.
Well, I want to say that I've had tons of call sheets. I've had tons of casting information throughout all of these productions over time, and I've had them on Book of Boba. I mean, I'm sorry, on The Mandalorian, and I've had them on the last one was maybe Solo and Episode 9. Yeah, and in Solo had a ton of new characters. All the new characters in Solo were Mother Proxima was her name, not Lady. Mother Proxima, Dryden Voss. Like all of the things never were coded. The only things that were coded were things that would get your attention, like Chewbacca. And so that's what makes me think that whoever this character is, they're not going to code it. They wouldn't need to. Drash, you could go around saying Drash. No, like what's kind of saying trash? No one would even think that's a thing.
Right. Now, I think Wayne, Reefer Man Reviews, Wayne may be onto something here. They totally could be Crimson Dawn associates. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, they could be. And the one thing that would help me in my Black Chrysanthemum prediction is we find out the Crimson Dawn is the big bad, not the Hutts. And he ends up going to the Hutts and working out a deal with not only the folks that we see at the dinner table, who Meg says in episode 4, but also with the Hutts, and they all go against Crimson Dawn.
Right.
So, anything could happen.
And
that's
Ron, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. No. Ronnie, it was Mother Proxima when it was the Lego guys making the movie, and then they changed it to Lady Proxima when they reshot the scenes with Ron Howard. So that was my point.
What about Thrawn?
She could be Thrawn.
She could
be Thrawn. I mean, Ahsoka can't find him, and that's a good place to hide.
That is a good place to hide.
A white lady on a Vespa? I would never look there. Is it blue? Because that could be the tip off. That's the tip off. There we go.
Blue
Connecting
Vespa.
the dots.
There's also been rumors of like Cad Bane, right? I saw we got Boba Fett right here, saying it could be Cad Bane's working for Crimson Dawn. That's true. If we find out that Crimson Dawn is the big bad, and that's really a question: who is the big bad for this series? So far, there's not a clear big bad. We thought, well, maybe it's the mayor.
Sarlacc.
Right. The mayor is going to provide some resistance for Boba Fett to becoming the crime lord. It seems that that may or may not be the case.
He's reasonable. He seems pretty reasonable so far. He's like, I'm not paying you.
He's also a liar. But I'm good. But it could also be the Hutt twins, right? So now you're thinking, oh, the Hutt twins. That's going to be the battle that Boba Fett's going to have. Well, there's all these other rumors, like Bosk is going to be in it, Cad Bane is going to be in it, any number of other characters, Luke Skywalker and Grogu, Din Djarin. Like, there's a whole list of people that are rumored to be showing up. Kira, the Red. So, look, we've got a lot of Crimson Dawn. So there's a lot of rumors out there about different folks coming in. And all of that is yet to play itself out. And we're going into episode 3 tonight. And it's going to be interesting to see how this begins to unfold.
You know what I would do if I were Boba? I'd be like, hey, twins, come on over. Hey, you guys are big old fat Hutts. You guys like to eat. How about we have a dinner party? And then they come over, right? Then what I do is I would get like the like salt shaker. I pretend it's a salt shaker. I just start putting it in my hand, and I'd be like, "Kika!" I put the salt right in their face, and it would just melt it off because they're slugs. Right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, has anybody tried using salt on a hut?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Watch out! Yeah.
Oh, the elephant. There's the elephant.
Yeah, it's the sawing has begun again. You know, it'd be like the Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz, right? When she gets hit with water, you just throw a bucket of salt on a hut and they just wither away.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. Yeah. So there's Reefer Man reviews. Wayne's gonna have an incident if Thrawn shows up. We already know if Mace Windu shows up, somebody go knock on Meg's door and make sure she's okay. Like she's gonna have a heart attack if she sees that purple lightsaber light up in Mace Windu's hand. And so we've got a medical alert for Meg. Should anybody see that, immediately run to Meg's house and knock on the door. Are you okay?
I just hope it happens because I don't want Meg to end up like one of the expanded universe people that's always mad about stuff.
That's right. That's right. Well, and I'll never quit trolling her if he doesn't. So that's just the way to be.
I want him to show up really bad too. I'm with her.
I love this. Oh man, Mike Porter with a free dad joke in the middle of the live stream right here. Huts are allergic to straw. Get it? Straw huts.
Straw huts. Yeah.
You know,
Mike Porter for you.
When you start,
I love
you
you,
just
Mike.
right. Oh my goodness! Meg says he'll see another cone. I don't see you as a bounty hunter, Fett. I see you as my brother. He's
like, I'm not a bounty hunter. I'm a crime lord. Come on. So they get totally, and everybody's going to be really mad about that. He's like, I used to be a bounty hunter. I don't do that anymore. Well, I wish you see me as that. I'm a crime lord now.
Exactly. So, I think there's yeah, it's not a phase, Rex.
It's not a phase.
By the way, there was Tamora Morrison kind of let slip about a scene in a gunship, and Ming Na Wen cuts him off. Like, zip it. Don't say anything about the gunship. When I hear gunship, I think back to like Attack of the Clones coming in, and the gunships from the prequel era.
Yeah. Those like clone drop ships, right?
Right. I don't.
I also think of Rogue One though. Remember in Rogue One when they're in the U-wing, and they like have that with what was that alien's name? He was cool, but he kind of just died. So, but yeah. Yeah, those are our really only two kind of frames of reference is that Rogue One moment, and
yeah, it's still got that bad wind. And I thought, let's see, I got to go back up here. There we go. Where was it? I got to find it. Mike Porter. There you go. A Hut's favorite dinner is pizza.
Pizza Meg. I just imagine like a Meg made a pizza right now. Pizza Meg.
Oh, there's so many fun things in the chat. You guys, thank you for being there. The interaction, I'm seeing it. I'm quite entertained. I do want to go into predictions for tonight. To episode 3. We know Meg is saying that the dinner scene is episode 4. But for chapter 3 tonight, I mean, it's not in the predictions. What do you think? Longer or shorter than episode 2?
I'm gonna say shorter.
Yeah, that's my bet.
I almost feel like it's always gonna be like longer, shorter. I would just kind of feel like it generally goes that way, and maybe like the last 2 are long or something. I don't know.
Something to me feels like they aim for that 35-minute-ish kind of target.
Yeah.
And then they vary off of that. And I think one of the reasons they do that is they found a sweet spot for these awards they keep getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like in a 30-minute. Now, apparently 30-minute doesn't mean exactly 30 minutes. There's some range in there, but they keep getting awards for having, the best in a 30-minute series or that kind of thing. So,
Right.
I think that's their target. And anytime we see something on the long side, expect it to come back. And I do. Maybe get a 28-minute episode, something like that, which people would get kind of frustrated with. But I think they're going to kind of average out around that 30 minutes. So I do think it'll be shorter. And so every week in the description here, I've got a link to the week 3 predictions. But and I know last week you and your sketchy friend went through and did your predictions during this.
And today we're gonna debate it out as a team.
Excellent.
And figure it out. Yeah.
Excellent. That's fantastic. So I'm going to do something a little bit different because I don't want to take away from that at all. And by the way, for folks in the chat who may not know, we have a wall of fame. You see it in the scroll at the bottom. You get on the wall of fame by getting a higher prediction, a higher or tie. You tie or beat Santa in the weekly predictions for each episode. We have a poll that you can go do online, and you can vote what you think is going to happen. We do the live stream Wednesday morning, and we go through the results and we score them. So what I'm going to give you all is a little bit of a preview of what people are saying. What are people saying in the poll? So this will be a little bit different. We have 39 responses, and let me bring it up here so you guys can see. So this is what I get to see. It is part of just the poll itself. The Boba Fett kills someone. 77% of the people, roughly, are saying, "Yep, Boba Fett's going to kill somebody." And the second question every week is Fennec's going to kill someone. So we have a majority of people who have responded to this point saying that Boba and Fennec are going to kill someone. My bet is one does, one doesn't.
Okay. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say that I think Fennec needs to do something because last episode she didn't. So I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna go in on she does kill somebody.
Yeah, she's got to have an itchy trigger finger. It's been a whole episode she's got to kill somebody. Right?
But Boba's operating in 2 timelines though, so I think he kills somebody too.
Oh, there you go. That's good. We see the Slave One. 85% of the people are thinking, yes, we are going to see the Slave One. And I agree. We've seen the Slave One in both episodes so far. I think we'll see it again. We do have coming up the scene in the garage where the So
where he sneaks up on it. Was that my ship? Yeah.
Yeah. So, someone says Jabba in the episode. We've had references to Jabba in the first 2. I think it's highly likely. There's almost 90% of the people think that someone's going to say Jabba.
Yeah, does it ever feel weird to you that it's been like 5 years that Bib Fortuna was sitting in the position though, and everyone just like nobody even talks about it at all? It's a little bit weird. Like you think he would have got his butt kicked like 2 days after, and
I love that you bring that up because it's been 5 years. Bib Fortuna has been kind of sitting there taking. Sitting in the throne, keeping it warm. The minute Boba Fett shows up, the twins are like, "Nope, that's ours." You're like, "Wait, Bib Fortuna's been hanging out there for 5 years. Where have you all been?"
So I have to think that it's obviously it's just probably an oversight to get the story that they want to tell, but they have to set up something like he was essentially a proxy for the twins. He was just like the twins were taking most of the profit, so they were cool to stay on Hutta and be decadent while he, paid them off or something.
Yeah, and and thank you, Cardinal, for joining as a subscriber. Appreciate that.
Nice.
And thank you so much. Yeah, and I think Star Wars Theory has kind of gotten into it. And you can see, and Star Wars Explained had a video on it yesterday. Alex did one about where have the Hutts been? Why, and they've been busy. And they got into a big fight with Darth Vader that didn't go too well. Mm-hmm. And they've been kind of recouping afterwards. And perhaps the reason they haven't kind of taken issue with who is the guy in charge of Tatooine is that they've been busy.
Right.
So
well, I mean, the series literally says they are too busy on Nal Hutta just being partiers. I mean, it essentially says that. So they have no focus.
Yeah. And they're caught up with the debauchery on Nal Hutta.
Debauchery, yes, that was the word. So Hutt orgies, all kinds of weird stuff. Let's not.
Debauchery, yeah. That's good. So most people think, Jabba is going to be mentioned. The lunch scene. Now this is where people may want to go in and adjust your vote. Meg is telling us the lunch scene is coming next week, not this week. But you see, 74% of the people think it's going to happen this week.
I'm going to be so mad if Meg voted differently than what she's telling us all. This is a big trick.
You know,
Meg. That's a good one if you're doing that, Meg. I respect that you're a little Palpatine in you if that's what you're doing. But
Meg is upset that she sees you on the Wall of Fame and not her.
The Order 66 me with that one. I could feel it.
She's saying the Hutts. She's doing her Jedi mind tricks on all of us, saying, "Oh, it's going to be episode 4. Don't vote for it this week." So we all get it wrong, and then it's in. That's great. The
Jedi Mike is Meg allowed to vote? Yeah, women are allowed to vote, dude. It's like 2022, man. Come on.
That's hilarious. Yes, Ronnie is on the Wall of Fame, indeed. I am a Palpatine.
And if Meg's a Palpatine, she gets to say her name is Meg Skywalker at the end of everything if she wants to. That's just what you're able to do.
Patrick Ray, we have, there's a link to join as a channel member in the description. I know some devices and some platforms make it difficult. So if you don't see the join button in the video, go into the description, open up the more, and go in there, and it'll say to become a member, click this link. So the young Yoda, Meg is trolling, and so am I. Meg, Ronnie's on the Wall of Fame. Pfft, no way. Oh, it's so good.
I think Poof was a Hoojib's name in the comic, by the way. It had a name something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Nikto gang attacks Boba's Tusken tribe. Well, in the last episode, Boba went and took their motorcycles.
Yeah.
So he they may want their bikes back. Those who survived.
Yeah.
I could see them attacking Boba's Tusken tribe. We had the surprise last week with the Pikes. That was kind of cool. But are we going to see Meg with her references? That's a good one. That's a good prequel quote. Good job, Meg. So I do think that they could come back and attack Boba's Tusken tribe in his flashback scenes. The Bomar monk scene. Did everybody forget about that?
No, I didn't.
Where they been?
Yeah, that one. Whenever I see that one, I'm like, man, they could literally put that anywhere because it's just a spider. It's just an exposition shot, probably.
Yeah,
like they probably don't. They're probably not going to talk about these were monks and go. I don't think they're going to go into the whole thing, and unless Boba's going to think his brain put it in a spider, and then into a new clone body to become Daniel Logan at the end and live forever. That's something I can think of.
Is Meg on Santa's wall? Well, I don't have her in carbonite yet, but when I do, I'll have her hung right there on the wall. Meg in carbonite, like it'll be my favorite a piece of artwork. That
I can just tell you, her hand gestures won't be like this. I think we know what the hand gesture will be like.
That's true. That's true. So Bomar monks, yeah, people are saying no. Boba rides a Rancor. Most people, no, that's not it. They're not going to happen. Is it going to happen at all? There was the Star Wars News Network. Those folks over there saw the or heard the rumor, and they had an artist rendering done of it. Are we going to see Boba ride a Rancor at all? And if we do, is it going to be this episode? Most people think no.
Well, I think if you think Drash is going to be in it, because when you look at the background of Drash, it does look like a Rancor messed up that background. If something messed it up, it's so messed up. So that's what it makes me feel like. If that's accurate, those things are related, and Drash comes in on that shot anyway. Comes in on the tail end of that.
Mark, we need a Meg in carbonite for Santa's Razor Crest, right? I've already got Santa in carbonite right there. Nice. So, I've got Santa in carbonite. I just need Meg in carbonite to add to the. Boba rides a blurg. Please, please, please let Boba ride a blurg. I would love to see a blurg at some point in.
Are we of the same frame of mind that blurgs just aren't on Tatooine? Like we won't see them on Tatooine, that they're part of a different ecosphere?
Well, I mean, they get transported different places. Sure. They're the horse of Star Wars, and it's like horses not being native to North America. They were brought here. So yeah, that could. So yeah, I don't know if we will see him actually ride a Rancor. It does seem that there is a lot of devastation in Mos Espa. I'm assuming that's Mos Espa in the background, and that they are going to be they're going to cause some havoc. Will we see Boba ride it this episode? I don't know.
It feels early still. Still feels a little early for that, but
it does. Indigenous blurgs.
Indigenous blurgs. That's our band. That's our new band for the Indigenous blurgs.
That is a good band name, isn't it? That is a really good band name. I love it. Oh my goodness, Meg, I'm not clicking on that. So we're going to see the Vespa swoop bike chase scene with Scad and Drash. That's most people are saying yes, that's going to be in this episode, which kind of leads this piece here, right? So if we see the chase scene, right, the Vespa swoop bikes, and it's destroyed, how did it get destroyed? And is this guy going to be a part of that? So these seem to be counter to each other when they should be supportive of one another, right?
Yeah. That's my thinking.
Yeah. We will see a flashback scene. 98%. Well, 97. Well, I think flashback scenes are baked into the DNA of the show. So I think flashback scene is pretty much a given.
So was it just like one person that was like, no, flashbacks are done?
It's got to be one. Yeah. 1 out of 39. You get 3%, whatever. Yeah. 2.6%. Yeah. Okay. So there's got to be, it's one vote right there. One vote versus 38. So there you go. Yeah. Meg, whoever voted no is on death sticks. Yeah.
But if they're right, they're like the champion. They should just win the whole thing right out for that one. If they end up being right, that's like when Gryffindor got like all those extra points in Harry Potter. All right, sorry, wrong franchise.
The Din Djarin cameo. Now we have a series of questions on cameos. is Din Djarin going to be in this one? Now, Josh Lucas with the Den of Nerds, again, he was kind of speculating that through the flashbacks, we need to get up to the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And we've been filling in since since Return of the Jedi, and we've been getting our way that direction. There's 5-year gap there that's got to be filled. It's moving along, and he's thinking that we're going to get all the way up to it sooner than later. I don't know. To me, it feels too early, and to see the flashback scene of him seeing Din Djarin get the armor, his armor.
Yeah.
However, I think it's very possible he could see Cobb Vanth. So you'll see in these predictions, you got Din Djarin, Luke Skywalker, Grogu. There's Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, because he has to learn where his armor is. He can't get it back yet. Then so that. But I still feel like that could be later.
Yeah, it could be. It's got to be some amount of. Tell your Rancor to be quiet. Well, I don't have a Rancor keeper, so I need a Rancor keeper here to get him.
It's actually elves on war elephants. There's a whole revolt. They're trying to get through the door right now. He has it barricaded. This is like the end times of the Santa regime. Just so you guys know, you're watching it live.
Exactly. Yeah. Jedi Mike says Cobb Vanth tonight. I think so too. I think that we could absolutely. His armor was taken by the Jawas, and we know through the story that Cobb Vanth gets the armor from the Jawas. But how much time passes before Cobb Vanth gets that armor? I think it's going to happen sooner than later. And he has it for some amount of time. And it's very well could happen tonight.
People also don't realize that Luke Skywalker grew up watching Cobb Vanth tonight on Tatooine, one of his favorite shows.
Yes.
It sounds like a talk show. Cobb Vanth tonight.
Dr. Aphra, most people are saying nope. We got 2 votes for yeah. We're going to see Dr. Aphra. Kira, 100% no.
100% no. Wow.
100%.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you want to be the one, you can vote yes. You can be the one sole vote for Kira. Cad Bane cameo. There's been a lot of speculation that Cad Bane is going to be in. There was an early report, and I want to think it was by who was it? Who put that out? That Cad Bane was in.
Sorry, I don't remember who first reported the Cad Bane thing. And it's one of those ones where I'm not saying that the person who reported it for the show was making it up. It's one of those things that was made up so many times over the years or false over the years. It's just like, yeah, I don't remember.
Yep. And Maria says there's no way that Kira is not in the series. The question is she in this episode? Right? So in this episode, I think that they may name drop her. I'm still leaning that she will not show up in the series in this season, only because of Emilia Clarke's filming schedule. That's me. That's my guess. Again, I could be 100% wrong.
I still totally disagree with you on that, because if she is in the limited amount of time of the rumors that she has to be in the show, it's like a day's worth of work. It's not. It doesn't really, like. I don't think it matters. Like, she's literally a hologram, according to the rumors, once or twice, and sends Cad Bane out. Like, it's not a lot of work. So it would be like a season 2 thing that she would need the actual schedule cleared. But I also want to throw it out there that if that piece of music, what if that piece of music isn't the Crimson Dawn theme? What if it's the Underworld of Star Wars theme?
Right.
That's just. I'm not saying I believe that, but I'm saying it's worth considering. That could happen.
So.
That could happen.
I agree. And so let's see. Kira is live, and she's coming. I hope
so.
I hope so. We shall see. So the Cad Bane cameo, LRM Online is the ones that. I'll put that out, and they're pretty good. So they're not 100%, but their leaks are
yeah,
fairly
they're
good.
not. They're not like we got this covered or whatever it is. You just like
No.
it's like, oh, they're doing Cassian any character you could think of show. Just keep putting it out until you're right.
Kathleen Kennedy's banned from the set. Right? Yeah, that's the Hutt twins are in the episode. Now they did tell Boba sleep lightly. Sleep lightly.
They both sneak in. They put his hand in some water. Boba pees his pants. They film it, and then they got dirt on him, and it's like the Steele dossier all over again.
That's hilarious.
I don't know.
But most people are saying that the Hutt twins will be in the episode, and I think that's probably. I mean, they set it up. Sleep lightly.
Yeah.
So.
I almost feel like they would put him in there. They make a big splash, a big show, and then they let him go away, and you kind of forget about him. Then they sneak up on you, the little slugs later on. I don't know.
You gotta put a perimeter of salt around your bedroom to keep them out. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's
like how people do magic and stuff, where they're like putting some salt and stuff.
Right.
It's not magic. It's for Hutts. Don't worry. I'm not an occultist. I'm not a weirdo.
I just got to keep the Hutts out. You know,
it's one of these sneaky Hutts keeping me in my sleep.
Exactly. So I do think it's possible they could show up. And real quick, hey Mark, could you hit that spam and get rid of it? Thank you. Bot alert. Yeah, you guys with the mods, we've got a few out there. If you guys could hit that and get rid of them, that'd be super awesome.
Battle droids.
And then the last one I'm going to show, there are the fill in the blank ones coming after this, but Crimson Dawn is mentioned. Not that they show up, but they're actually mentioned in this episode. Again, keep in mind when you're doing the predictions, it's for this episode. Maybe it happens later.
Yeah.
But that's the. And then we've got the you guess something. Now, I renamed this because last week I saw where you were a little confused about what is the thing. So I changed this to you guess something in the episode, right? And it must be a legitimate guess, no freebies. Now, I did see some people going for the low-hanging fruit like we did with the Bad Batch over the summer. We're not permitting that stuff anymore. So you can't say Boba Fett will say Tatooine. Or like you can't take something, really like Boba Fett will take off his helmet. That's it.
Could I say none of these people have been in my kitchen?
No.
Okay.
No. But you could say Boba Fett will say Tatooine, but you couldn't say Boba Fett will take off his helmet, right? Because that's sort of a given. But so that's what I would. Tell you guys is a little tip. So
gotcha. That's just the tip. Got it.
As soon as they said it, I was like, I
did it for May. I said it for May.
I know you did. I know. So there's my guess. So I went down enough to show my guess. My guess is a bantha will be killed. We've seen,
those poor sultry lip little critters. They're having a hard time, man.
We have seen banthas taking stray shots in both episodes. For some reason, there's this war on banthas.
Those banthas get shot like 50 Cent, all the time.
I know, like all the time.
Yeah.
And just for the record, I haven't yet seen where they put no actual banthas were injured in the filming of this. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's
when I was doing like the screen caps, I started to get kind of sad. I was like, when you watch the episode, it just happens. You're like, you kind of get through it, but when you're like screen capping, you're like, oh man, you look so sad right there, little dude.
I know. I it's like, what's the deal with the banthas? Quit shooting the banthas.
Yeah.
Ronnie Jimenez. This is a good one. Max Rebo will be in an episode. He's been in every one so far, right? He's been in the last two. Exactly. Maria Maria. That's because there's like a bazillion of them, a gazillion. We did see a whole, field of them. Is that what you say? There was a whole mess of them. So,
whole herd of them.
A herd.
I don't know.
A herd of bantha. Yeah, sure. I'll go with herd. We did see a whole herd of them, so they're a little expendable. It's like the bison in the Old West, which again brings up a really good point. I think worth discussing a little bit. These are very Western. Both of these episodes have been very Western. In this one, it follows the trope of the Western expansion that showed up in Westerns here in the U.S., Western TV shows, movies. With the Western expansion and the trains, you had them indiscriminately shooting like bison from the windows. Right? They would shoot, and that actually did happen. They shot hundreds and hundreds of bison as they were going out on these trains. It was a sport. It's just something to do as you're going across the plains. Look, there's a whole mess of them. How many can you shoot? It's really. It was kind of a terrible thing, but it's what they did. And you very much have the Tuscans as the Native Americans. You've got like the Indian tribes as they were going out. And they even mentioned how the Tuscans have different communities, right? There are different types of Tuscans, just like there were different tribes in North America and the U.S. So it very much mirrored the Western tropes.
Meg is hanging out with Mike Porter a little too much, I think, right now. That was a Meg dad joke, I gotta say. Sorry.
I saw it.
I almost have to wonder. I don't really think this is going to happen, but when you mention that, usually like in those kind of tropes and like Louis L'Amour novels and stuff like that, you usually have some settlers that are actually like characters, though, not just like Cammy and Fixer, who are just like, oh, thanks, man, for saving us. And I almost have to wonder if Drash and Scad in some way are those types, if they came to Tatooine for something else and then now they're mixed up in action. You might see that kind of story unfold here.
That is really good. And somebody asked on one of the servers I was on, or in a YouTube video, if these felt. Oh, it's in another server. Asked if this felt like it was a rehash of Mandalorian, and I said no. For me, Mandalorian, you had you've got the bounty hunter, and he's going planet to planet. It does share that it's heavily influenced by Westerns. You definitely had your gunslinger, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in season 1, episode 1, when he walks into the bar, right? He walks into the saloon as a gunslinger. That is so clear. And in this, you get again the Western trope. So they each have that kind of vibe to them. But they're very different in that the Mandalorian, he was going world to world, and then he ended up on this quest. What we see with Boba Fett is he's stayed on Tatooine. He's establishing a base. For me, he feels more like, again, going back to the Western tropes, like the sheriff or the marshal who is sent to establish order in this, remote town.
When you end up getting close to that old gunfighter kind of motif, though, that's where it gets a little scary for Boba's fate. Because usually it doesn't end up well for the old gunfighter when you think back to movies like Unforgiven and stuff like that, which Filoni and Favreau have to just dig that one.
And this is a good point. Where that falls apart is so we heard from the interviews that they took a heavy influence from King Conan. Again, shout out to you, Jason.
I saw it coming. I saw that one coming.
The King Conan, and also from the kind of the mob the movies and shows. So where I've not really seen him being a mob boss yet. To me, he seems more like a sheriff or marshal trying to establish order to set up. Look, I'm in control here, and take away that power from the local brutes that may be having a lot of influence. So that's what I've seen. I haven't really seen it flip over to him being a mob boss yet.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. He doesn't really. It's a 2-person operation still, like I keep saying, other than 8D8.
Yeah.
But I do want to recommend that Meg read my fan fiction I'm writing today called "The Bisons of Tatooine." Yeah. It's about bisons on Tatooine, and it alludes to the sun. What?
Oh, very funny. Very funny. You guys are great. This afternoon, you and Rob are going to go through your predictions. You're going to debate which way are you going to go. Yeah, Meg appreciates that. The Bisons of Tatooine. We will be tuning in to see how you all do your predictions. And in the morning, I'll go through episode 3. We'll see how this is come in. There were 39 responses when we started doing this. We still at 39. We've got no new ones yet. So I look forward to seeing your predictions later, and we will see if Meg has been purposely pushing the poll by telling us that the dinner scene is episode 4. I think you may be onto something. She's pushing the poll so that she can get the free point.
I think so too. I don't trust her.
Yes. So very good. We look forward to seeing that. We have to do our Mike Porter dad joke of the day.
Yeah.
Mike Porter dad joke of the day. Mike and Meg have been doing plenty jokes in the chat, but we got this one. What is Darth Vader's favorite ice cream?
What is it?
Wookiees and cream.
No.
Wookiees and cream. Oh, so much fun.
Man.
And I'm always careful to say it's the Mike Porter dad joke of the day. I'm taking no.
I'm not owning it.
Right. I just report the news. I don't make it up. Right. Yeah. So
exactly.
Mike's got a bar joke. A Jedi smuggler and bounty hunter walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Y'all are lost. Y'all belong a long time ago, far, far away." Mike Porter.
No. No. I'm gonna love you, Mike, but I gotta say, stick to the dad jokes. The bar joke.
Oh no, Meg's typing. I'm worried. Yeah, Mike, they're supposed to be bad. They are. They're good.
I know.
We love it. We love it, Mike. We give you oh no, Meg. Now you're just being mean again. You see what she did, right?
I see what she did.
Yeah. So she says, "I've got a joke," and then she says, "Yeah, the joke is for her, the Rise of Skywalker." Meg misbehaving again. Misbehaving. That's what she does. Look, we've had fun. I've had fun today. Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming today, and we look forward to catching your show this afternoon. And for all of you in the chat, we've got some special live streams coming up. I'm working on getting a panel together to talk about the latest Thrawn novel. We've given it some time. We've read it and we've reread it, and we've got a panel we're putting together to talk about Lesser Evil and the trilogy as a whole. And then, of course, tomorrow morning we'll be doing this. And then I have a whole stack of boxes here of toys to unbox. And yet to get to do that. So we've got lots of things coming up. Look forward to doing our a live watch in the morning. Are you doing one tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna do our prediction episode in about 40 minutes here, and then we're just gonna talk it out. We're gonna do our thing, and then we're gonna sign off, rest up, and come back after the episode tonight about 1 a.m. and then we're gonna talk about it, and I hope it's exciting.
Thank you. All right, well, everybody, thank you for being part of this wonderful community. We've had fun. Jason, Meg, Mike Porter, all of you in the chat, Matt Risman. We've got Mark Hamilton, of course, Mike, and Jedi Mike. We've got tons of people. I can't list them all, but you guys, thanks so much. And until next time, my friends, Merry Christmas.
You're my robot, Mike. Mark.
All right. Bye, everybody.